Across the world today, people are living through rising temperatures, stronger storms, unpredictable seasons, and energy systems that are struggling to keep up. Electricity grids are failing under pressure, prices keep climbing, and millions fear that the next climate event could leave them in darkness for hours, days, or even weeks. Yet, in the middle of all this uncertainty, a quiet and powerful transformation has begun. It's happening on rooftops, balconies, village centers, community halls, and entire neighborhoods. A transformation powered not by corporations or governments, but by sunlight, and by people choosing to take control of their own energy future. Solar energy is becoming more than a technology. It is becoming a form of empowerment. More and more households around the world are adopting solar panels not because they want to be trendy, but because they want stability, independence, and peace of mind. Solar gives them that. It offers the security of knowing that even if the grid collapses, their home can stay lit, their food can stay cold, and their family can stay safe. Solar is one of the few energy systems that can be owned by anyone, installed anywhere, and scaled from a tiny panel on a balcony to a giant field, powering entire communities. It turns energy into something democratic, controlled by millions instead of a handful of powerful companies. Every panel installed is an act of independence, a statement that people are tired of pollution, tired of energy insecurity, and ready to build a cleaner, more reliable future. Solar's true revolution goes beyond clean electricity. It challenges old power structures. For the first time in history, energy no longer belongs only to those with oil wells, huge factories, or massive power plants. Now, any home, business, or apartment can generate, store, and share electricity. This shift threatens the old model, where a few corporations controlled the flow of energy while communities had no say. Solar flips that model entirely. When people generate their own power, they gain resilience. When communities share energy, they build strength. And when millions participate, the entire global system shifts. The problem we face today is not a lack of energy, it's skyrocketing demand. AI systems, data centers, electric transportation, cooling systems, endless manufacturing, every part of modern life is pulling more power than ever before. Grids that were built decades ago cannot handle the load. Fossil fuels, still the backbone of many systems, are heating the planet to dangerous levels. The storms are becoming stronger, the floods deeper, the droughts longer, and the heat waves more deadly. The question is no longer whether we should switch to solar. The question is whether we will switch fast enough to avoid the worst outcomes. Solar energy is now one of the cheapest sources of power on Earth. It is safe, clean, quiet, and extraordinarily reliable during crises. Most importantly, it is everywhere. Sunlight does not discriminate. It falls on every continent, every region, and every home. Because sunlight is free, solar energy gives everyone the possibility of producing their own electricity without harming the environment. It protects families from rising energy prices, shields communities from grid failures, and helps to build hope as climate risks grow. This is why solar is no longer optional. It has become a global necessity. To avoid the worst climate scenarios, the world must rapidly expand renewable energy, especially solar, over the next decade. And it must happen at every scale. Large solar fields generating power for regions, community microgrids powering neighborhoods, rooftop systems supporting homes, balcony and portable panels helping apartment residents, and small solar kits bringing electricity to remote places. This transition requires everyone: governments, businesses, communities, and individuals. Every system installed, big or small, pushes the world toward a safer future. But installing solar is half the solution. The world must also reduce the industries and habits that waste enormous amounts of energy. Fossil fuels must decline and eventually disappear. Oversized vehicles, unnecessary manufacturing, destructive extraction, and massive military operations must be reconsidered. The more energy societies waste, the harder it becomes to build a renewable future. Solar offers the foundation for change, but humanity must rethink where our energy goes and what truly matters for a thriving world. The ultimate goal is an energy democracy, a world where energy is a human right, not a privilege. No one should be forced to choose between electricity and food. No one should freeze because they can't afford heating. No child should have to study by candlelight because their community's grid is fragile. Solar energy makes true decentralization possible. It allows communities to control their own power, brings electricity to remote places without harming nature, and protects people from energy exploitation. A solar-powered world is a world where fairness and security are built into the system. Achieving this future requires modernization of electricity grids, simpler installation rules, more subsidies, updated building codes, and widespread energy education. None of this is impossible. In fact, around the world, countless volunteers, engineers, activists, and community groups are already working toward it. They're organizing local initiatives, teaching their neighbors, building microgrids, and proving that change does not wait for approval. It is built by ordinary people who care. Solar spreads fastest when communities lead. One rooftop helps a single family, but dozens of rooftops form a local energy network, and dozens of networks create a movement that cannot be stopped. A single system brings light. A community of systems brings resilience. A global movement brings transformation. When people own their energy, they own their future. Right now, the world needs a powerful push for solar adoption. We need supportive policies, investments in clean energy, and communities that demand better. Humanity is standing at a crossroads, and the direction we choose will shape the planet for generations.